The way they called and explained everything, they just really helped ease my mind.
They were really good about giving us options as far as what fit in the budget, what didn't fit in the budget. They have a designer, Rachel.
She was amazing. She was very helpful in making sure that our house turned out good. I wouldn't change anything. I wouldn't change the lot. I wouldn't change colors. I love everything about it. Everything. It's perfect for us.
Make your dream home a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
You can help fight deadly diseases like RSV and influenza while getting paid for your time. Velocity Clinical Research is now seeking clinical trial participants in your area. Participants can receive compensation for study-related time. No health insurance is needed to join. Find a study near you at velocitytrials.com. That's velocitytrials.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, mainly sunny skies, and it will be very hot. We'll see an afternoon high around 101. Tonight, a slight chance of showers and storms, otherwise partly cloudy with a low around 69. And tomorrow, a slight chance of showers and storms, otherwise mainly sunny with a high around 87. I'm meteorologist Kyle Hucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Looking for a place to relax and unwind after a busy day? Cigars Lounge at 8th and Q in the Haymarket is the perfect place to enjoy good company, a cocktail, and of course a cigar. Visit Cigars Lounge on Tuesdays for Top Shelf Tuesday and enjoy 50% off select spirits. Cigars Lounge offers Perdomo, San Cristobal, Rock Patel, and more of the top stogie brands that you know and love. But that's not all. If you mention this ad between noon and 5 p.m., you'll receive 15% off your entire tab just by mentioning the ticket. Check out Cigars Lounge today at 8th and Q in the Haymarket.
Why are some people more successful? Is it talent and determination, or did they recognize an opportunity? Discover a career that lets you help families reach their financial goals as you build lasting professional relationships, one with unlimited income potential. From Modern Woodman, a leading fraternal financial services provider.
I'm Modern Woodman Regional Director Sean Erickson. Call me at 402-483-6515 to learn about career opportunities.
Modern Woodman of America. Touching lives, securing futures.
The Mill Coffee and Tea, formerly with only 4 Lincoln locations, now 5 Lincoln locations. That's 25% more locations than there used to be. Can you even imagine a world where there's only 4 Lincoln Mill locations? Feels like ages ago. We were all so young then. The Mill on 11, located right alongside the 93.7 The Ticket Studios at 1040 O Street.
Drinking and driving causes serious harm to friends, family members, and loved ones. In 2021, 65 people were killed in Nebraska by a car crash involving a drunk driver. Do not drink and drive. By drinking less, you can still be here for your loved ones. If you or a loved one is looking for help, find a treatment facility near you at findtreatment.gov. For immediate support, call, text, or chat 988.
Brought to you by Nebraska DHHS in partnership with SAMHSA.
This is the Happy Hour.
You guys going to happy hour?
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America.
Yeah, I'll come for a couple.
Here are your hosts, Nick Sainert.
I am a huge guy.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
C is for chunk.
Brought to you by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Happy College Football 25 release day to all who decided to pay a little bit extra money to celebrate. This is the Happy Hour, 93.7 The Ticket. I am Rico, joined by my goodest friend, Austin Orman. Austin, how are you?
I'm fine. I apologize to you and Jay profusely for all the sneezing and nose blowing that was going on.
It's fine.
I am sorry to you listeners if I sound worse than normal. I don't know what happened. The allergies just came up and kicked me. I took my pills and everything, and it's still not helping.
Kicked you right in the nose.
I'm hopeful that this hour and the next 5 hours really just give me something else to think about.
Okay. I hope you can get through it without too much trouble.
I've gone through far too much of this box of Kleenexes than I wanted to go through today.
Shout out to one free shout out to Kleenex.
It's not actually Kleenex brand. So we're good.
I
We're safe.
rescind
We're
my
good.
shout out. I rescind it.
Rescind the non-shout out.
This is Monday. Again, this is the happy hour. Shout out to Empire Fence and Netting for all of their support. Thank them so much for sponsoring this hour here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's a hot one out today. It's been a hot one all weekend. I was out in Hastings this weekend. I don't know what you were doing this weekend, but I officiated a wedding, which was interesting and fun. Was wearing a black long sleeve shirt, outdoor wedding. I was very sweaty.
Why did they do that to you?
I asked, and that's what they wanted. That's what they wanted me to wear.
Why though?
I don't know. It looked good though.
Were you an indoor or outdoor wedding?
Indoor.
Thank goodness.
We were indoor August 17th back in the day.
Unless you are in like San Diego or Hawaii, why would you get married outside? You have no control over the weather. You know it's going to be horribly wrong.
I say August.
Outdoor weddings, we should cancel them.
Right.
Cancel them. Outside of like San Diego and Hawaii, cancel outdoor weddings.
Aside from destination weddings.
We just don't need them, right? They don't do anyone any good.
I like them.
Just go to a building, get married, you can control the temperature and the weather, and then you can celebrate outside. But don't have people sit outside for an hour, either freezing cold in the rain, or blustery wind or whatever, or like black long sleeve shirt and pants in the middle of summer. It's 100 freaking degrees outside.
Yeah,
you're masochistic if you have an outdoor wedding.
I liked it. It was fun. My wife's mad at me now because I said August 17th, which is not our anniversary date. I was mixing our anniversary and Ellie's birthday, which is.
Whoops.
Yeah, it's fine.
Whoops.
Well,
enjoy the couch.
Yeah, it's fine. We'll get over it at some point. Probably.
Well, there goes your opportunity to play college football 25,
Guess
right?
I'm not playing that tonight.
Nope.
Oh, darn. But no, it was great. It was a fantastic ceremony. Shout out to Thomas and Kelsey for their wonderful wedding, and I hope for forever wedded bliss, because I'm not doing that again.
Once is enough, no matter how much you like.
Exactly. I'm batting 1,000 right now, so let's keep it that way. Speaking of batting 1,000, the MLB draft was yesterday, the first round at least, and there were some interesting things that happened, mostly because I didn't understand a lot of it, but I know that Austin and Nick, and I'm sure Nick, when he comes back tomorrow. By the way, Nick's not here, in case you were wondering why Austin was here. Nick was in Des Moines for a Post Malone concert with his girlfriend and some friends. And I hope he enjoyed it. I saw his pictures, and it looked like they were having a grand old time. He's on his way back now, but he's missing today. So we'll talk with him tomorrow, but we'll get his take on the MLB draft tomorrow. But I wanted to get Austin's take on the MLB draft, because I know that we had been talking about it for quite some time. And by we, I mean you and Nick had been talking about it for quite some time while I sat here and listened. And again,
so you know enough to go off of now. Give us your thoughts.
Well, I mean, I don't know about enough to go off of, but I do know that you were surprised by the number 2 overall pick, because I had texted you after a couple of picks had gone by, and you said number 2 surprised you.
Yeah, Bazana go number 1. You kind of see the writing on the wall for that. I really like that one. Then Chase Burns number 2 to the Reds.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I was reading the wrong mock drafts. Like, Chase Burns is a really good pitcher, right? He throws 96 plus, can touch over 100, wipeout slider. I just didn't see him going that high. Top 10, probably. Top 15 for sure. But for the Reds to get him at number 2, I was super surprised. And that meant that there was going to be another prospect available for the Royals that I didn't think was going to get there. I can't say I get exactly the strategy for the Reds. They got plenty of other holes to fill rather than a guy that's going to be to the majors pretty quick. Probably not schemes fast, but he should be in the majors by next year, 2 years away at the latest, I would think. But man, the Reds, okay, farm system, not great. I would have thought they would have gone position players. It seemed like there was pretty good depth at the top of this class for position players.
Yeah, it's I'm not going to pretend to know a ton about these guys, but I do know that name that you and Nick had been mentioning quite a bit, Charlie Condon, and we're talking about him going number 1 overall, ended up going 3rd overall to the Rockies, won the Golden Spikes Award this year as the best collegiate player in college baseball coming out of Georgia. Again, ends up going 3rd overall to the Rockies. Was that, obviously a drop from a lot of people thinking he was the best player in the draft, but 2 spots to number 3, not terrible, right?
Not really even a drop for me, because I think 3 was his floor. The Rockies seem to really like him ahead of that. If he went any further than that, I would consider it a drop. But the dude hit 433, 37 homers, and a 1565 OPS. It's crazy. I mean, his numbers were better in Langford and Cruz from last year, which isn't everything, right? He's kind of Stetson Bennett-ish, and that kind of came out of nowhere, kind of burst on the scene. Not that Stetson Bennett ever, won the Heisman or anything like that. Condon won up him there.
There were arguments.
But people didn't really know about Charlie Condon or didn't think he could be this, right? He was going to be a nice piece maybe for Georgia, but to be the best player almost indisputably in the country last year, at least based off the numbers, 3 might feel a little low, but I think it's actually fine for him. And I think the Rockies are going to try to fast track him.
Rockies are going to try and they need all the help they can get, regardless of how young they are, how inexperienced they are. So we'll see what happens with Colorado there. The biggest question for me, and not really a question, I just wanted to get your take on it, was your Royals. Picking in the top 10, right outside the top 5 at number 6. And they go with a guy that you have seen in person, up close and personal, not only at the College World Series, but down in Stillwater. Jack Caglianone goes number 6 overall to the Kansas City Royals. As we've mentioned before, the MLB draft, when we were talking about Caglianone, probably not going to go both ways in the MLB. Do you think offense, first base, or do you think pitcher for him? Because I was leaning first base just because of I was leaning more batting wise as opposed to pitching wise, because he's just so good with the bat in his hand.
Bat is the head of the arm. But he said part of the reason he's excited to go to the Royals is that they're going to give him a shot to be a two-way player.
Ooh.
I don't know if I love that. In theory, absolutely. I think more baseball players should be two-way players or able to play multiple positions than there are. So the more versatility, the better. It'd be such a cool story and such a unique role for him if he is able to do both. The Royals said they felt that he finally looked comfortable on the mound last year, finally, went to a facility of some sort in the offseason and learned how his body moved, especially on the mound. I think it's going to be a short-lived experience. Dude got shelled in college more often than you would think, right? With his arm, I wouldn't rule out a move to corner outfield, which might sound weird. I'm not necessarily a full believer in Vinny Pasquantino. He's been a little banged up, but the power hasn't been there for Vinny like we would have thought it would have been. So if you tell me that in 3-4 years, Caglianone is the starting first baseman for the Royals, cool. That's awesome. Great. He did it. Fantastic. That probably means Vinny's DHing quite a bit or uses a trade piece.
Okay.
But if Vinny picks it up right now, he's a little bit above league average as a hitter. If he gets his OPS up to 120, 130 at first base, and the Royals want Caglianone up there, maybe they start him out as a DH. But this is where the Royals, I think, could also have the chance to right some wrongs with what they did and continue to do with MJ Melendez, who they didn't move out from behind home plate as a catcher until last year, and they did it on the fly. If they believe in Vinny Pasquantino as the first baseman of the future, if they see the bat coming along and the defensive improvement, I think Caglianone, has a higher ceiling than Vinny Pasquantino does. But if you're sold on Vinny Pasquantino, I give Caglianone some reps in the outfield. I probably start him in left. It's the easier position defensively. But dude has a rocket of an arm, right? There's a reason Florida had him on the bump. So I wouldn't be afraid to give him some right field reps, even once he gets comfortable in left. I wasn't sold on the pick initially, but I also didn't know how the board broke. Knowing that Nick Kurtz was gone, I like him better as a true first base prospect. He went 4th to Oakland. And then there's a lot of chatter that the Royals were interested in Hagen Smith out of Arkansas. The Royals have gone pitching and college pitching far too frequently for my liking. The way you build a team in modern baseball is you draft hitters, take a flyer on some pitchers here and there, but you don't spend your first, second, or third picks on pitchers that often unless you get a great deal and a guy drops, or you're going to fast track him to the majors like the Pirates did with Paul Skeens. The Royals going with a college hitter is a step in the right direction. and an accomplished college hitter is another step in the right direction. I mean, yeah, they drafted Hunter Dozier a decade ago. Great. How'd that work out? Keggs is a much better prospect than Hunter Dozier ever was. I'm a little worried that there's some Nick Prado potential here in Caglianone. I'm a little worried that he's a mix between Eric Hosmer and Alcides Escobar. Dude swings at everything. Like 58 walks to 26 strikeouts. You're thinking, no, he doesn't. He's pretty patient. Well, 31 intentional walks, right? So no, he didn't strike out a lot, but he also made almost too much contact.
Okay.
Which sounds weird to say, but he's not the fastest guy, right? He's not necessarily a spray line drive hitter where this contact is great contact all the time. We know about the prodigious power, but a lot of pop-ups, a lot of rollovers. It's a type of prospect the Royals have basically never taken, a type of player they really haven't had on their team in at least 20 years, if not, 30 years. So it's a departure from the norm. And I love the bet on talent, right? He was probably the best player on the board at that point, at least according to a lot of prospect rankings. I was team JJ Weatherholt. I was team Braden Montgomery, who ended up going 12th, to the Red Sox. I would have preferred either of those two guys at that spot, but I am not at all mad that the Royals got Keggs.
Like I said, it's a guy that you've been able to see, so I trust your judgment a lot when in terms of talking about a guy who your team took. So according to the MLB pipeline, he was the number 3 draft prospect. The number 3 draft prospect. Yeah, in the field. So falling down all the way down to 6, kind of lucky for the Royals, I guess. But like you were saying, with the power and it says that there was his lack of swing and miss given his power is impressive. But when you're saying, 31 intentional walks, that's probably something that they might not have been looking at, where, yes, he's not striking out a lot, but a lot of teams were just avoiding him in general, or they're throwing outside and he's making contact, but not getting a hit, but making contact, where, like you said, rolling over, hitting a lot of pop-ups. It's a guy that if he ends up being anywhere close to what he was in college is going to be a big pickup for the Royals. Moving him from first base / pitcher to the outfield seems a little bit risky, but I don't know.
They need outfield help. He's a pretty solid athlete, even by major league standards. The biggest worry I have with him isn't the position. It isn't the two-way. It's the fact that it's hard to teach someone how to hit, right? It's a great test case for the Royals developmental system at this point, because guys that are naturally good at getting bat to ball consistently, it's easier to grow into and teach power than it is to teach contact. You have to teach Jack Caglianone what it means to make good contact at the major league level, and that's hard for every organization to do. So it gives me a little bit of pause, but obviously the potential is off the charts. The ceiling is, out of reach at this point.
It's a massive person to build around seems like a strong word early on right now, but if he does end up being anywhere like he was close to the beginning or close to his collegiate career, then that's going to be a massive person to build around for the Royals, because look, he was the talk of the town in Omaha for a while. It was the talk of the town in Stillwater, at least. And when he makes contact, you're going to hear it. You know when he makes solid contact. He knows when he makes solid contact, and the ball goes a very long way.
You miss it. I mean, 120 mile an hour laser beam off his bat in Stillwater. Crazy. I mean, he had one that looked like a pretty routine pop up that didn't just hit the batter's eye. It didn't just hit the top of the batter's eye, like the front on top. It hit the actual top.
It just kept
carrying. The batter's eye. It kept carrying it, just woo on top of the batter's eye and straightaway center in Stillwater.
I hope that he makes the show early, just so we can see what he can do at the K. If they're still playing at the K by the time he gets there, because not to put too much pressure on him, but I want to see if anybody else can hit the crown. And it seems like with his power and his ability to swing extra hard, he might be the next person that could be able to do that. But one more person before we do get to a break, and no, it's not the Nebraska high school preps prospect who ended up going in the second round, because we can get to that later, and we definitely will get to that later. A guy that we talked about has been making his name more well-known as the season not drug on, but continued to get better and better, and their championship potential was showing more and more. Tennessee's Christian Moore goes number 8 overall. We had talked about it before when the MLB draft was supposed to be held in Omaha back in 2020 before the College World Series was played, so you'd be able to see players who you could say, oh, this guy's going to play for this team. He went, in the first round, et cetera, et cetera. Well, Christian Moore, if that were to happen, would not have gone number 8 overall.
No, absolutely not. Christian Moore is a fantastic player. Again, kind of burst onto the scene. And my favorite part of Christian Moore isn't where he went, isn't him the player. I mean, those are all fantastic. The next pick they made was the guy he was calling unrepeatable names in the College World Series.
Big fan.
So hope they get over that awkwardness because they're both extremely talented players, Christian Moore and then Chris Cortez is the pitcher. So it's stuff like that is just so incredibly fun. Like they're going to be teammates in at least, A-ball.
Mm-hmm.
They have to deal with that.
No,
do they work it out?
I hope they still hate each other and they use that hate to take themselves both to the show. Like, I'm going to do better than you. No, I'm going to do better than you.
Bring it.
And then they finally
competition, right?
They finally get to Anaheim and they both realize, dude, it sucks here. We should go somewhere else.
I don't like it here. You don't like it here. Let's let bygones be bygones and force a trade.
Let's do our best and get out of here. But we will hit on the Nebraska Preps high schooler who did end up going in the second round. Coming up next, talking about the MLB draft here on the Happy Hour. And also, Nebraska football adds to their staff with a semi-college edition as he went from high school to UCF and now with the same position at Nebraska. What does it mean for the Nebraska staff? What can he bring to Nebraska in terms of not only on the field coaching, because that's probably going to be approved by the NCAA board to get more coaches on the field, but off the field and the recruiting side of things. And also, Memorial Stadium, natural grass? Stay with turf? It's going to be grass, but is that the best choice for Nebraska in Memorial Stadium? More on that coming up next on the Happy Hour 93.7 The Ticket.
Follow Nick and Enrique on Twitter at Nick_Sainert and at Radio Rico AC. More of Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey, Husker Nation, Matt Davison here with 1890. It's an exciting time to be a Husker fan, and to keep that momentum going, we need your help. Nebraska has always been a leader in college athletics, and we're doing the same through name, image, and likeness. NIL is a unique opportunity for every Husker fan to have a direct impact on the success of our programs. Through 1890, 100% of your contribution goes to the student athletes. So go to 1890nebraska.com, choose your sport, become a member, and help the Huskers recruit and retain the best. Go Big Red.
With Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. And Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for ready-mixed concrete, Husker concrete, and Beatrice concrete. Nebco offers great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they pay for CDL training. Apply today and start your new career with a $2,500 hiring bonus. From Nebco's beginning in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
Midwest Bank is proud to be your local community bank right here in Lincoln. This is Abby with Midwest Bank. Stop by our new location at 70th and Pioneers. Our new full-service branch does it all. From our friendly staff to our easy online banking and mobile app, you get all the technology of a big bank that you need, but you still get the hometown customer service that you want. Your community, your bank. Midwest Bank. Learn more at midwest.bank. Member FDIC.
The weather is hot, the kids are out of school, and you're on your way to the lake and summer road trips. Are you getting to your vacation spot comfortably, or is your car letting you down? Mullen Motors Lot is full of great vehicles to take home, so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride for summer road trips and beyond. Mullen Motors.
No tag-ons, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Garage doors can be expensive. Are you keeping yours in the best condition possible? This is Cameron Hall with Doors Plus. Doors Plus is a locally owned business that prides itself on the fast, reliable, and friendly service. Doors Plus offers flexible scheduling so you can book an appointment that fits your busy day. My team and I will come out to your property, both commercial and residential, and provide you with the necessary information you need to make sure your garage door is in working and smooth condition. Give Doors Plus a call today at 402-590-5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Ready to add a dash of Southern flavor to your week? At Wings and Rings, their brand new Southern fried wings have arrived for a limited time. Indulge in the irresistible goodness of large, traditional bone-in wings coated in a crispy beer batter and fried to perfection. Try them with hot honey or any other sauces. And for those busy summer days coming up, look no further than their Southern Fried Wings Family Bundle. Wings and Rings, 2 Lincoln locations on O Street or Village Lane. Are you looking to get into the electrical construction industry or wanting a new scene? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Hey, Nebraska! Registration is officially closed for the 40th Annual Cornhusker State Games, taking place July 11th through the 21st in Lincoln, Omaha, and other Nebraska communities. The Cornhusker State Games will feature 70 sports for athletes of all ages and abilities. If you didn't sign up but want to follow along for results or watch the action yourself, go to CornhuskerStateGames.com. Thanks to our partners, Nebraska Orthopedic Center, Pepsi Cola, Nebraska Medical Association, and Farmers Mutual of Nebraska.
You can help fight deadly diseases like RSV and influenza while getting paid for your time. Velocity Clinical Research is now seeking clinical trial participants in your area. Participants can receive compensation for study-related time. No health insurance is needed to join. Find a study near you at velocitytrials.com. That's velocitytrials.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, mainly sunny skies, and it will be very hot. We'll see an afternoon high around 101. Tonight, a slight chance of showers and storms, otherwise partly cloudy with a low around 69. And tomorrow, a slight chance of showers and storms, otherwise mainly sunny with a high around 87. I'm meteorologist Kyle Hucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career, or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
You're listening to the Happy Hour.
We were in the middle of our tournament when my friend John said he found a body in the bushes over there.
With Nick Sainert.
I ran over there because I'm a healing monk to try and help, but obviously my magic wasn't strong enough because the dude's body was missing a head.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
So my friend decided to try and use a necromancer spell, which didn't work, which I knew it wouldn't.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
And apparently we contaminated the crime scene because that spell uses a lot of glitter.
Welcome back to the Happy Hour here on 93.7 The Ticket. Reverend Rico coming at you live from 1040 O Street. Yeah, I'm going to use that. I'm a reverend now. I'm a minister, an ordained minister, not a reverend. I feel like that's insulting to reverends.
It is.
But I'm still going to use it.
I mean, okay.
I'm not going to use it. I might use it. We'll see what happens. Minister, ordained minister, Rico here with Austin Orman. We were talking about the MLB draft. We're going to get to the grass versus turf debate, Memorial Stadium, and Nebraska adding another staffer to their football staff. But first, we do want to shout out and congratulate Tyson Lewis of Millard West, as he was drafted in the second round, the 51st overall pick in the MLB draft, as he is headed to the Cincinnati Reds. And yes, I say headed to the Cincinnati Reds because getting drafted in the second round in the MLB draft is definitely going to be better than going to Arkansas, where they actually probably filled his spot with another Nebraska prep star.
Probably, because they got Cam Kojal. So I would be very surprised if Tyson Lewis doesn't end up signing 51st overall, maybe a little bit below where he was projected.
39 overall prospect,
right?
MLB's pipeline pre-draft rankings.
So that's 12 spots lower, and it would have been that would have been the end of the comp round. Essentially, is where it gets to. Which makes me wonder if the players that other teams took were full slot guys or significantly under slot guys. My guess is that Tyson Lewis is going to get full slot or pretty close to it for 51st overall. And I'm sure he'll take, obviously whatever it is he can get. But I also wonder what the bonus is going to be for Chase Burns. You have to keep that in context here. My gut tells me that other teams, I think he was linked to the Padres and the Astros, right? So the Padres ended up taking, they were 25th, right? Padres, went with a high school lefty, which in the first round means they went under slot. So Lewis was probably more expensive than Cash Mayfield as the prospect. And then the Astros went with a college catcher. Junior, who declared early here, unsure how to view how he would sign. But yeah, so pick 51 would have been, I guess, the start of the second round is what it was. Just after the end of the comp round. So yeah, I mean, getting drafted second round out of Millard West, first one sentence. Can you name the last prospect taken?
I could not.
Sam Wibbles.
I would be lying if I said I heard that name. It sounds familiar, which I guess it should, since he was a Nebraska Preps star who got drafted 2019, right?
2019, yep. He was drafted by the Washington Nationals in the 36th round. He went where I just lost old Sammy Boy. Here we go. 1083rd.
Wow.
Overall. And said, nope, I can do better than that, and ended up at Kentucky.
There you go. All the best to Sam Wibbles.
Yeah.
Do you know that their Nebraska has only had one high schooler ever drafted in the first round?
I believe it.
I'm looking at it right now. Shout out to Jim Haller, a right-handed pitcher out of Creighton Prep back in 1970.
Yeah, I would not have pulled that name. I know Reitz got drafted straight out of high school from Norris.
But this one's just first rounders.
Yeah.
That's what that was.
Right.
It says Alex Gordon would have given Nebraska its second prep first rounder, but was strongly committed to the University of Nebraska and made it to campus. That leaves Haller as the state's sole high school first rounder. The Dodgers drafted him 9th overall, but an arm injury short-circuited his career at AAA.
Alas.
Back in 1970, arm injuries, probably the end of careers.
Even before that, yeah, not ideal. But it's pretty cool that Nebraska had at least one.
At least you have one.
Oh, I'm seeing a different Jim Haller here. Haller?
Haller.
Yeah. The one I'm seeing was a relief pitcher drafted by the New York Yankees in 89. So many Jim Hallers.
Haller.
I feel like it's Haller with a double L.
Yeah, Haller.
Yeah.
I apologize, Jim.
Do you think Tyson Lewis makes it to the Bigs?
I hope he does. Do I think he does? I don't think I know his game well enough to say yes or no on that. I don't think I'm baseball savvy enough to predict his career. But I feel like with high schoolers, it's not as high.
It's different because they have more time in the kind of developmental incubator, right, in the farm system instead of having to go to college.
18 years old.
So I think he has more runway than some guys would. I think his tools are right there. I mean, I think he just needs refinement and finish growing into his body, right? I mean, he's only a high school senior, so he's not the same size he's going to be for the rest of his career. But again, it just goes to show you that this is the type of competition that Nebraska is up against. Alex Gordon is the exception, not the rule.
Yes.
Right? That to have such a strong commitment to Nebraska that you're not going to sign with an MLB team, or, of course, look elsewhere. You know, boom, at Wichita State, Max Anderson fell into Nebraska's lap. That's an A&M guy, you know, even back in the day when they were really good. So Nebraska isn't just, you know, fighting its reputation in the Big Ten. Nebraska is fighting SEC schools. And, oh, by the way, you have players good enough that major league teams want them sooner than later. That's really tough competition. It shows just how far Nebraska needs to step its game up.
It's one of those where you brag about the talent in the state and how good it is, but the bragging comes from the fact that they're going all over the place to highly competitive schools or to the pros and not to the state university, which sucks. A little hamstringing the state or the state university when your best prospects are leaving the state to go to better universities or to better
baseball programs.
Yeah, better baseball
yeah.
programs and, you know, better opportunities when you're talking about going pro. But again, shout out to Tyson Lewis for getting drafted in the second round by the Cincinnati Reds. We wish him all the best. There are a couple states who don't have any first rounders. That is Alaska.
Okay, I was going to guess that. How many states we talking here?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Maine?
Nope, they've had one.
Oh, okay. Wyoming?
They have had one.
South Dakota?
Yes.
Okay. North Dakota?
Yes.
Okay. Alaska, 2 Dakotas. Montana?
Nope.
Idaho?
You're going the wrong direction.
Okay. Let's see. Indiana's a basketball state, but they probably lucked into at least one. West Virginia.
Yes.
Hey, okay. So Alaska, 2 Dakotas, West Virginia, and
tiny state.
Rhode Island.
No.
Connecticut.
No.
Delaware.
No.
New Jersey.
No.
What?
Vermont.
Oh, Vermont. Nah, I was going to get there eventually.
Yeah, you would have gotten there soon.
So Alaska,
North
2
Dakota.
Dakotas, West Virginia, and Vermont.
Yep. And
Get with it.
4 of those states, all but West Virginia, have never had a first rounder of any type, high school, college, or junior college. So Alaska, North Dakota, South Dakota, Vermont have never had a first rounder come out of their state regardless.
Baseball's been doing this for a while.
Tough. You think you'd luck into one? Somebody would just be good enough to sneak into the first round.
Someone.
Nobody.
Once. Someone take a chance on one of your guys.
Nobody.
Wow.
That sucks. It's okay. West Virginia has had 2 of them. Chris Enochs in 1997, and can you name the other one back in 2019?
From West Virginia?
From West Virginia.
Drafted from where?
West Virginia University.
Oh, Alec Manoa.
There you go. 2019.
Yep.
And JJ Weatherholt makes it 3.
There you go.
Look at West Virginia.
Three whole baseball prospects in the history of West Virginia
There you
athletics.
go,
Hey, you always
Mountaineers.
have Jerry West.
There you go, Mountaineers. You done did it. Congratulations. We spent a lot more time on baseball than I thought we would. So you know what? We will get into this.
Oh, wait. Josh Karen, 4th round, numbered 121 to the Mariners.
There it is. There it is. What is the number?
121.
121.
Second highest drafted Huskers catcher ever.
Josh Karen to the Mariners. Shout out Seattle. We are all Mariners fans in this exact moment. Not for very long.
I'm an M's guy. They're probably my second AL team.
You an M's guy?
My family used to live out in Seattle, so I'm not anti-Mariners.
I like King Felix.
He was fun.
And Ichiro.
Ichiro was good.
That's it.
We can talk about Edgar Martinez.
Yeah.
We can talk about, I'm trying to think here, other Mariners. I mean, Mitch Haniger.
Nope.
More recent.
Doesn't do it for me.
On the low, Kyle Seager.
Oh,
not Corey.
Actually, that one actually might do something.
Trying to think. I mean, Ken Griffey Jr. Come on.
Damn it.
Come on.
How could I forget?
That's on you.
I'm disgusted with, you know what? I'm disgusted with myself.
You're a Mariners fan now.
Yep.
Welcome.
Damn it. I don't deserve to talk about baseball anymore. All right. We will get into the Nebraska staffer on the grass versus turf with Strick. I saw him walk in. We'll get into the Chris crossover with the other gentleman of On the Block. When we come back, you're listening to the Happy Hour on 93.7 The Ticket.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day long wherever you are. More of the happy hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Looking for a place to relax and unwind after a busy day? Cigars Lounge at 8th and Q in the Haymarket is the perfect place to enjoy good company, a cocktail, and of course a cigar. Visit Cigars Lounge on Tuesdays for Top Shelf Tuesday and enjoy 50% off select spirits. Cigars Lounge offers Perdomo, San Cristobal, Rock Patel, and more of the top stogie brands that you know and love. But that's not all. If you mention this ad between noon and 5 p.m., you'll receive 15% off your entire tab just by mentioning the ticket. Check out Cigars Lounge today at 8th and Q in the Haymarket. Man, we sure have had quite a bit of severe weather this spring and summer.
Tell me about it. My roof is in shambles. The side of my house has hail damage, and I don't have time to deal with insurance companies right now.
Wait, Rico, you haven't talked to my guys at Coalition Restoration yet? They deal with commercial and residential roofing services, hail damage, and best of all, they'll work with the insurance companies to make your life easier.
Okay, what's the first step?
All you got to do is give them a call today for a free assessment at 402-416-8186. Coalition Restoration in Lincoln and online at coalitionrestoration.com.
Prodigy Baseball Academy, Lincoln's premier baseball program, is excited to partner with the #1 national youth and high school program to offer a larger player development program with a national network for tournaments and recruiting. Prodigy Baseball has been nominated several years by the Lincoln Choice Awards for outstanding dedication to youth baseball. Come see the USA Prime Prodigy difference. For a full listing of tryouts and to learn more about USA Prime Prodigy, check them out on Facebook at Lincoln Prodigy Baseball or at LincolnProdigyBaseball.com. USA Prime Prodigy is excited to announce the tryouts for the upcoming season. Prodigy Baseball is where players in Lincoln go to receive player development, a competitive tournament schedule, and incredible family atmosphere. USA Prime Prodigy will be hosting tryouts July 14th through the 16th at 6 p.m. at Optimus Sports Complex for ages 7 to 14. Jalen Wordley, Caleb Clark, and Mason McConaughey from Husker Baseball will be there to sign autographs and talk to the youth. Tryouts start on July 14th at 6 p.m. Learn more at LincolnProdigyBaseball.com.
We have 2 boys, so we needed more space. We lived in a townhouse, so we decided to build.
Casey Bowman and her husband Joe built their first home with us. This is Bob Benish of Aspen Builders. Working with the Bowmans was fantastic.
After the first meeting, we really liked them as people.
I was really skeptical about the whole building process, more so than Joe was. But they explained everything before it happened. If there were problems or issues along the way, they called and explained everything. They just really helped ease my mind.
They were really good about giving us options as far as what fit in the budget, what didn't fit in the budget. They have a designer, Rachel.
She was amazing. She was very helpful in making sure that our house turned out good. I wouldn't change anything. I wouldn't change the lot. I wouldn't change colors. I love everything about it. Everything. It's perfect for us.
Make your dream home a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in, temperature-controlled, high-end wine bar. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for wine, beer, spirits, and cigars. Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for Ready Mixed Concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. Nebco offers great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they pay for CDL training. Apply today and start your new career with a $2,500 hiring bonus. From Nebco's beginning in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
Hey, Nebraska! Registration is officially closed for the 40th Annual Cornhusker State Games, taking place July 11th through the 21st in Lincoln, Omaha, and other Nebraska communities. The Cornhusker State Games will feature 70 sports for athletes of all ages and abilities. If you didn't sign up but want to follow along for results or watch the action yourself, go to CornhuskerStateGames.com. Thanks to our partners, Nebraska Orthopedic Center, Pepsi Cola, Nebraska Medical Association, and Farmers Mutual of Nebraska.
93.7 93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, mainly sunny skies, and it will be very hot. We'll see an afternoon high around 101. Tonight, a slight chance of showers and storms, otherwise partly cloudy with a low around 69. And tomorrow, a slight chance of showers and storms, otherwise mainly sunny with a high around 87. I'm meteorologist Kyle Hucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Ready to score big with your projects? Look no further than Edward Stone, the MVP of natural stone for over 2 decades. Edward Stone is cranking out over 30,000 square feet every week and offers a winning lineup of over 70 quality natural veneer stone selections. Their unbeatable variety and experienced team will ensure your project is a success, whether it's a home renovation or a commercial build. And hey, they're not just about stone. They've got an all-star lineup of fireplaces, cast stone, brick, and much more. Swing by one of their locations in Lincoln or Omaha today and experience the Edward Stone difference, your reliable choice for over 20 years.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
Are you looking to get into the electrical construction industry or wanting a new scene? The electrical workers of local union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
The next generation of Huskers starts now. Join the official Kids Club of Nebraska Athletics today to score access to select home games, a discount at the team store, and endless Husker spirit. The free JV team gets you started with a game credential. Upgrade to the $35 Lil Huskers membership for a welcome box and VIP Lil Huskers experiences. Fuel your Husker spirit. Join the Kids Club today at huskers.com/kidsclub. Go Big Red.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert. This is a house of learned doctors. And Enrique Alvarez Clary. As soon as your eyes shut, I'm going to punch you square in the face. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You guys mixed up the head or the microphone, so I had to make sure I was getting it right. So I didn't turn on one that wasn't correct.
We keep you on your toes, Rico.
Welcome back. This is the Chris crossover as we welcome in the man, the myth, the legend, Eric
Austin, Austin, good to see you.
Okay,
You're the man, the myth, the legend, bro.
Something like that.
You know, you're the coach.
He's not
in
the
my mind.
Shooting coach in your mind.
He's not the man, the myth, the legend. He's just the legend.
That's it. You know, he doesn't need much else.
He's not a man. He's not a myth. We know he's real. He's just legendary.
That part.
The man.
How was your weekend, Stricky?
It was good. It was a celebratory weekend for some milestones for some good friends of mine. I shouted them out on the show last week, but also I forgot to shout out my guy Spud Webb. Spud Webb's birthday was over the weekend as well. Shout out to Matthew Strickland, whose birthday was over the weekend as well.
Wow.
There's a lot of birthdays over the weekend, man. It was great. But yeah, man, just really got to hang out with my guys and Spud and chop it up. And you know what we do? Cigar life, baby.
Hey.
Shout out to Cigars Lounge.
Strick, Rachel was on her phone just going through Instagram or Facebook. I don't remember which one it was. And she goes, look at Strick just casually saying he's at a birthday party for Spud Webb. I'm like, yeah, Strick doesn't do it on purpose, but he'll just like name drop people and he's just talking in conversation and he forgets like, hey, those people are kind of really
cool,
famous, and awesome.
But the crazy thing is,
but it's just friends
you want to know. But sometimes you do that stuff because sometimes I don't know. I think my guy Austin's like, yeah, right, Stricky, you're going down for some birthday parties, right? I think probably I know he does, but I
take you at your word.
I know Shaky Jakey. He does probably deep, just a DP and those guys. That's what I told you I was coming for. Just to let everybody know.
It's just funny because every once in a while you're just like, oh yeah, like you and Jay, you both do the same thing where you're just talking, you just like drop a name, and we're just like, wait, hold on, wait a minute, like that's a That's a cool person.
They
And you're
regular.
like, no, that's just a person.
Yeah, they regular. They good, man. Like, look, I really do gotta acknowledge the fact, and my voice is kind of because you know
'Cause you were partying.
loud spaces. You
Yeah.
kind of gotta yell a little bit.
Oh,
But
yeah. This guy.
like Spud in a way is kind of like a mini mentor.
That's rude.
You know what I mean? Like
Why? Because he's small.
not
That's why he's a
because
mini
he's
mentor.
short.
That's rude.
Jeez.
But-
Wow. Dang.
Hey, Austin, same wavelength.
Yeah.
I know you
Man.
guys.
Man.
You gotta watch what you say in here, boy, because they'll take it. They'll take it and run with
You
it.
get caught slipping.
But not from that. But more so is like it's kind of a brotherly thing. But then there's some. That's why I say mini.
Yeah, I get it.
Because he's your little brother. Because you're taller than him.
This guy.
No, Spud. You'd be surprised. Spud is he's up there a little bit.
How tall is Spud?
I'm not telling. No, Spud's about 5'3", 4.
Yeah. Me and Spud, same height.
Yeah.
Not close to being the same athletically, though.
That man, he goes to the heavens a little bit. He can
crazy.
rise up a little bit.
Remember seeing that, and it's seeing that and thinking, well, if he could do it, I could do it.
Well, what's
not
beautiful-
realizing we are not physically the same.
What's beautiful about those times, though, is like I think they really opened the door for a lot of people like your Tyus Edneys and you know people like that because for a long time people just kind of looked at him and Muggsy Bogues and you know they're this is how guys like Isaiah Thomas can evolve and
Marquise Noel from
the way
K-State a
that you
couple
look
years
at 'em,
ago.
you know what I mean? Because they have stature that doesn't really measure the way that they would normally look at it, and even Nate Robinson.
Sure,
you know the things that Nate
multiple
can
time
do,
dunk contest winner.
You know what I mean?
The
The
kryptonite.
athleticism, yeah.
Mhm.
So the athleticism for those guys, man, is amazing.
All right, like I said, we're going to get into this, so we're going to get into this right now. Nebraska does hire another staffer onto the football staff as Jamar Mosey. That's what we're going with. I need to find out exactly how it's pronounced. I'll probably watch some highlights of his son, who is a 4-star wide receiver, is committed to Oregon, to make sure that I'm pronouncing his last name correctly. But Jamar Mosey of Lee Summit North, previously Lee Summit North, over the summer was working for UCF in a senior football assistant role, has accepted the same role, senior football assistant, at Nebraska. Jamar Mosey, again, Lee Summit North, former Lee Summit North head coach, accepting the role of senior football assistant at Nebraska. Gentlemen, what does that do for Nebraska? Lee Summit North in the Kansas City area down in Missouri. What does that do for Nebraska? Not only on the coaching side, but in my thought is big win on the recruiting side of things.
That's most likely it, right? UCF obviously saw something in them, and I think that was a good get for them at the time, you know, playing in the Big 12. With the way that conference is set up now, if you can have a recruiting hub in the middle of the country, it makes sense. Where, you know, Chicago mined quite a bit. Your Illinois, Indiana's mined quite a bit. St. Louis is obviously a big national place, but Kansas City is really the hub of the Big 12. I think it has been for a while, and I think it always will be, even though, you know, we know conference realignment is very real. Kansas City just feels very Big 12. So for UCF to go get a guy from there with connections was a big deal for them. But for Nebraska, I think it makes a lot of sense. We've seen this staff really want to get back into Kansas City. They've made an effort to get down there and to go get the guy who was at a wildly successful program there, Lee Summit North, to take him away from Orlando. I mean, it's tricky. You know how hard it is to pull you out of Orlando. To pull him out of Orlando after like 4 or 5 months is all he goes through spring practice and summer ball.
Accepted the role in February.
Nope. Right. So say literally 5 months.
Yeah.
To go get a guy, you know, from another power conference program is a bit of a flex, but to get a guy from Kansas City, I think is Nebraska just doubling down on its efforts down there.
Yeah, I think it's huge. And you've got a one, like you said, a top program. You've got it's right in your wheelhouse. It's right down the way. It's a good state population space as well. I mean, it's good when you can go into places like where you got to go and get like a Kenny Wilhite, out of St. Louis, stuff like that. But they're right down the street, 3 hours. I mean, it's something that you definitely want to take advantage of. I think between some of the skill players and definitely linemen and that are potentially there, I think it's going to make for a good push down there.
So Mosey, as we said, his son is a 4-star wide receiver who is currently committed to the University of Oregon, has taken a couple of visits to Nebraska. But something that isn't going under the radar is that the Division I Council voted to adopt legislation that will allow support staff like analysts and quality control coaches to instruct players at practice and during games. Under the old rule, only 11 coaches, the head coach and 10 assistants, and some graduate assistants were allowed to give technical or tactical instruction to players at practice and in games. With that ruling, now your analysts, your senior football assistants will be able to instruct players during games and at practices. And Mosey was originally the offensive coordinator at Lee Summit North, took over for the last 8 years as a head coach, and over the last 3 years or so has really turned it on, or had really turned it on. No state championships, but a lot of state semifinal and quarterfinal appearances. And if you're looking at it just on the recruiting side, not only does he have deep ties in the Kansas City area being a head coach there, but he helped mold some really high-level players. He had a four-star offensive tackle, Caden Green, back in 2023. 2024 5-star Williams Nowerney, if you remember that name, was connected to Nebraska for a really long time. Ended up going to Missouri. And 3-star offensive lineman Armand Membo, all three of them now at Missouri. And again, his son, a 4-star wide receiver currently committed to Oregon, has visited Nebraska multiple times over the last year, more recently back in June. Interesting. Very close to when his dad accepts the job at Nebraska. Only a month. 1 month. I'm not going to make any correlations. I'm just saying.
I'm not going to until I hear from Brian Munson. We got him in about an hour and a half.
There
coming
you go.
up on the block.
It's perfect timing.
I'm skeptical that anything changes right at this point. I mean, if you're gonna go, Oregon's a better program, but I will defer to the guy here. I feel like Orlando's probably a little bit better than Eugene.
Facts.
So if you're not following your dad down to Orlando, either you're really bought in on winning high-level football, or you want to get away from your dad.
Well,
I don't know if that's the case, but
although UCF is in a Power 5 conference, they're still new to the Power 5. They're still
They
new
are.
to the Big 12. So going there it's not a group of 5, but it's still kind of looked at it that way amongst a lot of universities and amongst a lot of fans and some people in the media. So that would still be looked at as a step down, even if you were being coached by your father. But Oregon to Nebraska, although Nebraska has been on the downturn for quite a number of years, still kind of a powerhouse, at least in name recognition.
it's closer to a lateral move. It's still a step down.
It is.
At this point.
It's a small step.
Nebraska would probably have to make it worth both guys' while in this day and age. And if you're going to convince a guy to come just for NIL, I don't know if I love that being the reason, but if he was legitimately interested in Nebraska before and now hiring his dad pushes Nebraska over the edge, okay, cool, fine, whatever. But if it's going to take the whole bag to convince him, well, have fun with that Phil Knight money, which we'll also talk about coming up during on
that Phil Knight money is moving differently lately, as of late, for Oregon. But gentlemen, if you want to go quickly, let us know what's coming up on the block.
Yeah, Phil Knight money. Can Oregon NIL its way to a championship? Is it different in college and the pros? Jalen Brunson, how team friendly is his deal with the Knicks?
Don't do that.
Is it truly team friendly or not? And then Brian Munson of Husker Online will do a little bit of MLB draft reaction, including the Josh Caron selection, some of the best and most questionable picks of the first round.
Don't do that.
I'm going to do it.
Jalen Brunson is very team friendly, and it's totally going to work out. And there's going to be a championship parade in New York within the next 2 years. Within the next 2 years.
Listen to this guy.
Championship parade.
No.
Orange and blue skies.
No.
I'm not rolling.
Good luck, Rico.
You don't have to roll.
Good
I'll
luck.
roll by myself.
As you should.
Don't be like that. Thank you all for listening. Austin and myself, thank you for listening. Happy Hour 93.7 The Ticket. Nick will be back tomorrow. And happy college football game day release to all who are celebrating. I know I might be hopping on that later today. Adios.
Get ready, Husker fans. The Big Red Preview is coming soon. Join us Saturday night, August 3rd, for an exclusive look at your Nebraska football team in action. Experience the excitement, the energy, the sights and sounds of a game day as the 2024 football season kicks off. Visit Huskers.com/tickets and bring your family, friends, and all your Big